You're listening to the N2K Space Network.
CISOs and CIOs know machine identities now outnumber humans by more than 80-1. And without securing them, trust, uptime, outages, and compliance are at risk. CyberArk is leading the way with the only unified platform purpose-built to secure every machine identity, certificates, secrets, and workloads across all environments, all clouds, and all AI agents. Designed for scale, automation, and quantum readiness, CyberArk helps modern enterprises secure their machine future. Visit cyberark.com/machines to see how.
Today is August 6th, 2025. I'm Maria Varmazis, and this is T-Minus.
T-minus 20 seconds to LOS T-Drift. Go for deploy. Roger, roll. 5.
Amazon's Project Kuiper has signed an agreement with NBN to bring satellite broadband to rural and remote areas of Australia.
4.
Globalstar and Parsons have completed a satellite communications demonstration mission.
3.
An Interlune payload will fly on Astrolab's Flex Lunar Innovation Platform, or FLIP rover, on its upcoming mission to the Moon.
2.
Scout Space has completed its first suborbital space domain awareness test flight on Dawn Aerospace's Aurora spaceplane.
1.
AST SpaceMobile plans to acquire global S-band spectrum priority rights held under the International Telecommunication Union. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you for joining me. We have got a roundup of mission updates coming out of NASA later in the show, but right now we're going to dive into today's Intel briefing. AST SpaceMobile has made a significant move in the global race to deliver space-based cellular connectivity. The company announced it will acquire global S-band spectrum priority rights held under the International Telecommunication Union. The deal is valued at $64.5 million and grants AST rights to use key mobile satellite services frequencies in low Earth orbit. And these frequencies are essential for delivering broadband directly from space to everyday smartphones with no additional hardware required. Now, S-band spectrum offers a mid-range frequency that's ideal for reliable voice, video, and data connections in hard-to-reach areas, such as rural, maritime, or disaster zones. AST's satellites already support S-band capability, which makes this acquisition a natural fit to scale their global network. The company aims to deliver peak speeds of up to 120 megabits per second for mobile users, and this new spectrum greatly enhances their coverage potential. It also supports AST's broader strategy to integrate space-based cellular services into global telecom infrastructure, alongside existing 3GPP and L-band holdings. And the acquisition is expected to close later this year, which is, of course, subject to regulatory approval. And if you are interested in finding out more about the International Telecommunication Union itself, we will be speaking to Bryce Kennedy on the show next week about his new role at the ITU. Make sure to join us then. Moving on now. Scout Space has completed its first suborbital space domain awareness test flight on Dawn Aerospace's Aurora spaceplane. The flight tested the integration of Scout's Morning Sparrow sensor suite aboard the Aurora platform. And Morning Sparrow flew to a maximum altitude of 67,000 feet and a maximum speed of Mach 1.03. In follow-on flights, the sensor suite will then be used to gather data and demonstrate the sensor's capability to track and image very low Earth orbit objects from below. Scout says that this will offer a responsive platform for urgent, time-sensitive intelligence gathering and a cost-efficient alternative to conventional satellite-based space domain awareness. The demonstration flight took off from a conventional runway at Tawaki National Aerospace Centre in New Zealand. And from New Zealand, we move on to the Moon, close by, and the announcement that an Interlune payload will fly on Astrolab's Flex Lunar Innovation Platform, or FLIP rover, on its upcoming mission. Interlune aims to be the first company to commercialize natural resources from space, starting with harvesting helium-3 from the Moon. And their payload is a multispectral camera that's built, tested, and developed in partnership with NASA's Ames Research Center, whose images will be used to estimate helium-3 quantities and concentration in lunar regolith. The FLIP rover mission is scheduled to launch to the lunar South Pole aboard Astrobotic's Griffin lander later this year. Globalstar and Parsons have completed a demonstration mission. The companies have been working on a joint solution that integrates Globalstar's low Earth orbit satellite capabilities with Parsons' software-defined communication technologies. The demo was a proof-of-concept mission conducted across 3 European ground stations, which validated performance and operational readiness for real-world deployment. The system used Globalstar's LEO satellite constellation to deliver fast and reliable comms. Dr. Paul E. Jacobs, who is Globalstar's CEO, said, "With successful proof of concept behind us, we are proud to have demonstrated our capabilities in providing steady, dependable connectivity to Parsons' solution set." And Amazon's Project Kuiper has signed an agreement with NBN to bring satellite broadband to rural and remote areas of Australia. Project Kuiper has successfully launched 78 satellites across 3 launches, with plans for more than 80 additional rocket launches to complete the constellation. When fully deployed, the company says that the network will reach virtually any location on the planet. Now, their partnership with NBN aims to bring fast, reliable satellite internet to more than 300,000 eligible customers when the service launches in Australia from the middle of 2026. And that wraps up today's top 5 stories from the space industry. N2K senior producer Alice Carruth joins us now. Alice, are there any other stories making headlines that we should know about?
Funny you should ask, Maria. The answer is always yes. Today we've been reading about Voyager's Vista team, which will operate at the nation's first science park dedicated to in-space research and innovation at The Ohio State University. Amentum has reported its financial updates. Politico is killing it at the moment with its space coverage. Today we have a story from them about the Golden Dome that has us scratching our heads. And finally, we have an Ars Technica article included in today's show notes that asks, is the Dream Chaser plane ever going to launch to orbit?
That is the golden question, isn't it? Now, please remind us where we can find out more about all of those stories.
We include links to all the original sources of all the stories mentioned throughout the show in the selected reading section of our show notes. You can find them on your podcast platform or on our website, space.n2k.com. Just click on today's episode title.
Hey, T-Minus crew, if you find our podcast useful, and we always hope that you do, could you please do us a favor and share a 5-star rating and a short review in your favorite podcast app? If you do, it'll help other space professionals like you to find our show and join all of us in the T-Minus crew. Thank you so much, everybody. We really appreciate your support. We'll be right back with some updates on NASA's Lunar Trailblazer moon mission and, of course, Curiosity.
New adversary tactics and emerging tech to meet these threats is developing all the time. On Threat Vector, we keep you a step ahead. We dig deep into the threats that matter and the strategies that work.
How do they help that customer know that what they just created is safe?
The future is now, and our expectations are wrong.
Join me, David Moulton, Senior Director of Thought Leadership for Uni42 at Palo Alto Networks, and our guests who live this work every day.
We're not just talking about some encryption and paying multi-million-dollar ransom. We're talking about fundamentally being unable to operate.
Automated eradication and containment. So being able to very rapidly ID what's going on in an environment and contain that immediately.
They're hiding in plain sight.
So if you're looking to sharpen your strategy and stay ahead of what's next, tune in and listen to Threat Vector, your front line for security insights.
And now, a word from our sponsor, ThreatLocker, the powerful zero-trust enterprise solution that stops ransomware in its tracks. Allow Listing is a deny-by-default software that makes application control simple and fast. Ring fencing is an application containment strategy, ensuring apps can only access the files, registry keys, network resources, and other applications they truly need to function. Shut out cybercriminals with world-class endpoint protection from ThreatLocker.
What does every USAA member have in common? Family. We're one big family who supports the military community and their eligible families. And if you, your parent, or spouse served, you could join our family and save big on auto insurance. Visit USAA.com/join today to check your eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Welcome back. Gather round, friends. It is time for another session of good news, bad news when it comes to NASA missions. So why don't we get the bad news out of the way first, huh? A few quick items there. First up, NASA's Athena Epic Smallsat, or Economical Payload Integration Cost Satellite, was launched recently via Vandenberg Space Force Base on July 23rd. It is a Pathfinder launch for a scalable satellite design to support future missions through partnerships, but unfortunately, NASA says they've yet to make contact with it. They are still waiting for Athena to send her beacon signal so she can be tracked. Come on, goddess of wisdom. Do you know something that we don't hear? Anyway, sort of a similar problem for NASA's Lunar Trailblazer, whose mission officially ended last week on July 31st. Now, the goal for this small sat was to make high-res maps of water on the moon's surface, but unfortunately, teams lost contact with the satellite the day after its launch with the IM-2 lunar mission back in February. Now, that is a serious bummer. And NASA's NICER is not so nice right now. Science operations for the Neutron Star Interior Composition Explorer X-ray Telescope, or NICER telescope, on the International Space Station, which has been functioning since 2017. All those science operations are paused at the moment since developing a motor issue in mid-June. Teams are continuing to evaluate this issue, and thankfully, though NICER is a bit stuck, it does not pose any risk to the ISS or the crew aboard. Gosh, that is a lot of tough luck for our beloved U.S. Space Agency, which is already quite beleaguered at the moment. So I'm really hoping that their luck starts to turn around. And if anyone can make it happen, it is the extraordinary people who make NASA the special institution that it is. And speaking of, on the good news side of things, the Curiosity Mars rover just marked 13 years since it landed on the red planet. Seems like just yesterday, doesn't it? Curiosity runs on a multi-mission radioisotope thermoelectric generator, and NASA says that they've recently upgraded Curiosity's capabilities to make the most of this generator and hopefully extend the rover's lifetime. After all, Curiosity is now fully a teenager, and yeah, that comes with added abilities and responsibilities. She can now multitask. By being able to do lots of tasks at once, Curiosity gets more downtime to recharge her batteries. Oh, and Curiosity can now also decide if she's done for the day and needs that downtime sooner rather than later. Oh, teenagers, we're trusting you, Curiosity. And that is T-Minus, brought to you by N2K Cyberwire. We would love to know what you think of our podcast. Your feedback ensures that we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing space industry. If you like this show, please share a rating and review in your podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to space@n2k.com. We're proud that N2K Cyberwire is part of the daily routine of the most influential leaders and operators in the public and private sector, from the Fortune 500 to many of the world's preeminent intelligence and law enforcement agencies. N2K helps space and cybersecurity professionals grow, learn, and stay informed. As the nexus for discovery and connection, we bring you, the people, the technology, and the ideas shaping the future of secure innovation. Learn how at n2k.com. N2K senior producer is Alice Carruth. Our producer is Liz Stokes. We are mixed by Elliot Peltzman and Trey Hester, with original music by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I am your host, Maria Varmazes. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.
T-minus.